Well, hi everybody, Hellcrux here, and we're doing a Battletech report. It's called The Highway to Hell. There we go. Over here we have some Capellan forces doing a rear guard action. Over on the other side where you can't see them, there's Davians fighting Capellans. And these guys are trying to escape. Little did they know that over here some mercenary unit was dropped in with some Leopard class dropships and dropped off a couple lances to intercept and stop them from escaping. Go hammer and anvil situation. So they're trying to get off the board, and these guys are trying to prevent them from getting off the board. But that's not all. Someplace over here there is the other Capellan forces that are still trying to escape. So sometime in the future, maybe you'll see a couple more lances, possibly. But they have been in combat, so they do have some damage to them. Over here, you do have some inbound, couple more drop ships to drop more mechs for you. So, but you don't know when those are coming either. All right. Any questions? No questions? All right. First one up is the 10 of diamonds. Who that be? Over here we have, just let's say, we got a lance of swaybacks, hunchbacks, and over here we got some sort of fast-moving calves. So there you go. We'll be back with turn one. Turn one is complete. Everybody just kind of staring like, uh-oh, what are these? Oh, we got stuff coming down the road. And they're going, hey, there's stuff coming down the road. We're in for a fight, but no one's in range on the first turn. So that is, the first turn is complete. So, we shuffled these?
No.
And these slowly shuffling.
What do you want from me?
I don't know. If you haven't figured it out, we harass each other all the time. How are you supposed to talk smack in a game and not have fun?
That's true.
You ready?
They called me a bully. They hurt my feelings.
Alright, first one up is a jack of spades. That is me. We'll be back. Turn two is complete. They come running over here. This entire force unleashed onto the crab and did nothing. Missed by one lot. Lucky crab. And then everybody else fired at the poor Jenner and hit with a large laser and two medium lasers, took one arm off and got internal structure on the right torso, took out a jump jet. Missed that ammo by just one spot. By this much. So, that is everything for turn two. I'm going to go shuffle those cards up and we'll figure out what happens next. Roll 2 dice. Okay. Okay. Nothing happening. Nothing new. Copacetic. So no reinforcements. That's when it happens, when you roll really low. First card up is a 10 of hearts. That would be you. All right, we'll be back with turn three. Turn three is now complete. All right, over here. The swaybacks and the hunchbacks all unleashed, except for one hunchback. So 3 hunchbacks unleashed onto the, and the crab hit the warhammer. And got a hit on the head with one medium laser and took out his sensors. So it got internal structure and hit the sensors. And then the other one got a crit and took out his gyro and his engine and caused him to trip and fall and hit the ground over there. Now the brown hunchback.
Green. The green hunchback in the back is the 4G.
The one with the AC-20.
So this is the 4H. That's the 4G.
Oh, he's the one with the AC-20?
Yeah.
Shot over here and he hit the poor little stinger over there, and or wasp, and put an AC-20 into him. It's like ungodly shot and hit with the AC-20. So went in one side and came out the other side. It's like he was toast. That's the problem with 20-ton mech getting hit with AC-20s. They disappear. And okay, over here, they tried to shoot the Jenner, and they did hit with, what, a medium laser, I think it was, and hit him in the back. Then they all proceeded to shoot into the Crusader, and then they all proceeded to shoot into the Ostrock and did some good damage. And then it was time for Slugfest time. And as a result, though, during the weapons fire phase, the Marauder, or the Warhammer, fell on his face because of gyro, and took another pilot hit, but he made his consciousness check. So that was pretty good. He needed what? Needed a 7. He rolled like 9 or something like that.
Yeah, you needed a 4 for the first one. You rolled boxcars.
Yeah, well, that was good.
That's good for us because you're getting those out of the way.
And let's see. Then the Phoenix Hawk tried to kick the Jenner, and well, he face planted himself because he failed. And it was like, snake eyes don't help you very much, do they? Okay, what else do we have here? Oh, and the crab got his leg kicked really hard by the Griffin. And is there any armor left in that leg? Because I thought I hit it with a shot also.
No, so you hit him in the chest.
Oh, that's right. It's the Ostrock got 2 shots, yeah. 2 kicks in the leg.
He has almost no leg left.
His left leg took 21 damage, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that was not good. He's going to be having a bad day soon. So that's everything. I think we got everything, right? Yeah. For turn 3, we'll move the big die to turn 4, and we'll be back. Turn 4. All right, over here we had the Marauder walked backwards and unleashed, did 20 damage to PPCs and to the Quadlimoto thingy, which is acting like a futuristic post hunchback. And over here, these guys unleashed into the 2 hunchbacks, or a hunchback into the Warhammer, and he tripped and fell again. That gyro.
All 3 hunchbacks there shot at the Marauder.
Yeah.
AC-10 to the Marauder's head.
That's true.
Then the 4G by himself went mano-a-mano with the Shadowhawk.
Oh, that's right. You put an AC-20 into him.
Yeah.
Caved his chest in a bit. Over here, the Griffin fired and hit the hunchback, and then he proceeded to try to kick the crab and then failed, but he didn't fall over. And over here we have a large let's fall down and crawling around the ground fest, where the damage enough, the snake eyes rose up again and bit the Ostrock, and he fell on his back. And then he proceeded to get kicked in the chest by the Enforcer. But the Enforcer, during the gunnery fire, Alpha striked into the Ostrock and tore him up a good one. And the Jenner did some damage. Okay. And then they all beat down on the, well, and the Phoenix Hawk kicked the Jenner in the chest, did some major damage to him. There's no armor left on the Jenner's chest, and then you got a crit and got a gyro hit. So it's going to be a hard one for him to even stand. And if he tries to run, then that's another problem too. Did I miss anything? All right, so turn 5 is now coming up. And I've shuffled the cards. First one up is a 10 of diamonds. Who is that?
The Awestruck.
The Awestruck. You going to run?
Yep.
All right, so you're going to run. What's his piloting?
4.
So roll, see if he can stand. Should be fine. He is fine. Roll a 5, so he can stand and face any direction you want and motor. All right, we'll be back. Turn 5. That turned nasty real quick. It went south fast. Over here, the Hunchbacks mobbed the Marauder, shot it, hit with 6 leg actuator and a hip actuator. It's like took both legs to pieces with lots of crits. Failed his pilot check and then fell on his face.
Took the coward's way out and crushed his own cockpit rather than be kicked to death by 3 Hunchbacks.
Yeah. And so the end result, but then he turned around and fired into the one Hunchback, the green brown one there, and did some damage. The Shadowhawk fired in and did punched in the backside, but didn't get any crits. Lucky you. Over here, the Crusader and the Hunchback went toe to toe, literally, and both had, it's like 2 SRM6s, 2 medium lasers into the Hunchback, and then the Hunchback returned with an AC-20 and 2 medium lasers. Yeah, that wasn't too good. But they're both standing. Armor's tore up on both sides, but they're still going good. The worst thing is, during the movement phase, this Warhammer decided to try to stand. And slipped and failed his pilot check trying to stand. Fell and did a head hit on himself and then proceeded to go unconscious. So during the movement phase, he was unconscious. Over here, this Jenner that's over here decided to do the same thing and did exactly the same thing. Failed his pilot check, fell on his, failed his seatbelt check, and then proceeded to go unconscious. Yeah, that's not good. And then everybody over here all picked on the Enforcer, shot him up, and then the Awestruck kicked the center torso in with a swift kick to the chest. So killing the Jenner. But he didn't go supernova. Over here, the Crab proceeded to fire 2 large lasers into the Griffin and, well, yeah, head hits. Hurt bad. Head disappear in incandescent flash. Like, unbelievable. It's like we should have just filmed that little bit, but yeah, it's like you don't see that happen very often. It's like blew the head completely off with large lasers. And then we rolled off to see what would happen, and we got a reinforcement lance dropped right there, and they're now moseying down the road. And no reinforcements over here. So it's not looking good for the Capellans at all. Yeah, if they last one more turn, I'd be surprised. All right. That's the end of turn 5. We're moving on to 6. We'll be back. Turn 6 is now complete. Over here, the Shadowhawk decided he's like, I'm going to escape off this board and run away over here because reinforcements have showed up, fresh mechs, and you're like, I'm going to go this direction. Over here, the Enforcer jumped up on the big hill, which it's going to be hard to run up, so you got to jump up there. You got to make pilot checks if you go up them because they're scree hills. And let's see what else. Over here, just finished the Ostrock fired 2 large lasers into the immobile down Warhammer, and he happens to put a large laser into the head and killed the pilot. So that's another dead mech that you've killed. What, 3 now you've taken out with a head hit? Yeah. What's with your boxcars today?
They're fantastic. They are.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
In the hit parade over here, we had a bunch of hunchbacks unleashed onto the Crusader, and they proceeded to rip all the armor off, then shoot both legs off, and then when he had to make his see what happens, because both legs are gone, he's out of following, falls and lands and hit his only spot he had open. He had 1 crit left, which happened to be ammo, and self-critted himself and blew. Crusader goes up into a big giant fireball. And let's see, then there was a kick over there. You kicked the Phoenix Hawk, kicked the Enforcer, and he's fine. And they got some shots over here into the Griffin, and he's
Shadowhawk.
Shadowhawk, yeah. Griffin's dead. Shadowhawk did take some shots from some PPCs, but he
in an LRM.
So he made his pilot check and is motoring off the board here. So we're moving on to turn 6. Did I miss anything?
Turn 7.
Yeah, we're done with turn 6. Turn 7. There we go. Turn 7. Turn 7. All right. Over here, the Shadowhawk is running away, but he took some shots from everybody, some indirect fire. Just enough to make him have to make a pilot check, but he's fine. He's kind of shrugged it off over here. The Enforcer jumped back over here, and you got some shots in on him that he just kind of shrugged off a bit. So other than that, that was it. And they didn't shoot enough back at the mercenary unit to have to force anybody to do a pilot check, other than this getting hit with minor damage. I think the heaviest thing he hit was with a large laser, I think it was. So that's it. That's the end of turn 7. We'll move on to turn 8. And we'll go from there. Nobody's dead, and they're running away. Turn 8. Over here, the Shadowhawk, he'd made a little turn and fired off his weapons off this direction and missed with his autocannon, trying to take a pot shot off at the crab there. Missed. And then over here, everybody else proceeded to fire everything they had and did enough damage to him, but he just didn't drop. So he's going to get off. All he has to do is make 1 turn, and he's off the table, because the table edge is right here. So he's going to escape away. But unfortunately for the poor Enforcer, he did not escape, because who was it? The Dervish?
Dervish got an engine hit, and then the Ostrock finished them off. Yeah, got 2 more engine hits.
Yeah, because they fired off. The Enforcer put an AC-10 into the Phoenix Hawk, and
the catapult and everybody else just
shot laid into him, hit with at least 1 weapon, and tore most of the remaining armor off. And then the Dervish got a bunch of little piddly crits off of him, and then Ostrock hit with a large laser, and that was it. 3 with his 3 crits. 2 of them were engines. That was it. All right, so that is the end of the game after 8 turns in roughly 5 hours. Yeah, not about right. 4-ish, 4.5. Not bad for a classic Battletech game. What do you think of the scenario? Good? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Highway was the highway to hell?
Not for us.
No, for them it was, yeah. So it didn't work out too well for them. You guys lucked out with a lot of... How many head... You had a bunch of head hits.
All of the head hits.
Yes. I couldn't hit anything with that. I would hit, but I couldn't get any head hits. And you guys were like...
You got 1 head hit.
Well, that's right.
You got 1 to our 6.
Yeah. So it didn't work out too well. Yeah, those large laser head hits. And the second one usually, or one combined with a medium laser, put a lot, what, 3 mechs down? Something like that. So, all right, so that's it. We'll be back with another one sometime. Hope you guys like this one, and we'll see you. Hellcracks out.